Stand by for the Brewery Underground podcast.
In Nashville, what will rise? Craft and brews will meet the skies. Stephen Scott, they lead the way. Brewery Underground, night and day. Raise your glass, let's ignite. In this city, we unite. Raise your glass, let's ignite. In this city, we unite.
It's the countdown.
I hate the countdown.
We have started. What is this? Is this the Foamy Undergrounds podcast?
This is a special night, boys.
It is.
It's a special night, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our 100th episode.
Yeah.
Yay! It's our 100th episode, and it's their 100th episode
Yes.
at the same time.
Yes.
Our
Everybody.
us.
It's insane. It's a beautiful thing to be able to come together like this.
You don't look old enough to have 100 episodes.
Alcohol makes you look younger.
Yes, it does. Makes you do a lot of things.
Yeah, it does. It makes you lose your hair.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's where I'm wearing my famous Brewery Underground podcast hat tonight.
It's to hide all that hair up underneath, right?
Thank you. From Cedar Glade Brewery
Cedar Glade Brews out in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
in
I'm telling
Murfreesboro,
you,
Tennessee.
these guys are the best hosts.
Yeah.
Hands down. From the time we walked in tonight, it's just been, I mean, they've been gracious for us. Matter of fact, we're drinking their Maniac Pale Ale.
Yes.
Their first ever brew that was brewed for Cedar Glade. So it kind of makes sense to have such a momentous occasion
Yeah.
if we're sitting in here to have something like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
this-
I've got a question. Which one is Mitch and Rich?
We're gonna let
Who
you.
is who?
We're gonna let you guess
after 100 episodes, we still couldn't figure it
We
out.
still can't figure it out.
because we've
They
got
can't figure out who we are.
Sometimes I go by Rich.
Oh. When you get unintentionally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you start throwing out Richard and Mitchell, I'm like, oh, God, I don't know.
can't do it. Can't do it. Really tall Rich and Mitch. It's just kind of how really big Rich and Mitch. I don't know. I'm coming up with stuff.
I'm Steve, not the tall one, not the so tall one.
Not the tall one.
He's Scott,
Somewhat tall Steve.
and a little bit. Yeah, okay.
Somewhat tall Steve.
Sure, somewhat. Yeah,
Some tall Steve.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take anything.
I'm 6'7" Mitch. 6'7".
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. I get it. Hey, no, don't do that.
You gotta
I get enough of it at home. I have a 5-year-old who does it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. But
It doesn't. One doesn't need one. First of all, congratulations to you guys.
same to you. Yeah, same to you guys. Cheers to you guys. Let's raise a glass.
Yes.
This calls for a beer.
You're a little further away than normal.
Calls for a
but-
beer.
okay.
On a beer podcast, this calls for a beer.
Yeah.
Hey, back
Wow.
to Cedar Glade being a great host. I mean, we got a spread in front of. We got multiple beers. They brought pretzels out.
Mm-hmm.
You got pretzels?
I got 3 pretzels.
You're
You
not
want
sharing
one?
it with me.
Would you like one?
Sure.
You can have
We've
half.
got pretzels with beer cheese. We've got Maniac Pale Ale, their first beer ever made when they opened Cedar Glade Brews. And not to mention, I mean, for people that are here tonight, they can see it. But if you're looking at it later, probably won't see it either because the camera's facing literally that direction. But we've got our logos going back on behind Scott and Steve. So it's just. I mean, they pulled out the red carpet for us.
Pretty cool.
Get that.
Pretty cool.
It's really cool. Jonathan and Robert are just top notch. I mean, their story is cool, and I won't steal any of their thunder. We've talked about it before, Mitch.
Oh, yeah.
When we were on here, but when they're going to be joining us here probably in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to get an opportunity to crack open some specialty beers and share it with them, but maybe kind of give them a little bit of time to talk about kind of the history with them. So I don't want to spoil it too much, but just to say that these guys have always, no matter what the situation is, always have been gracious.
Yeah.
To anybody that walks through these doors.
Yeah. By the way, you guys' setup right now looks awesome. Does it? Cool.
And you know what?
You look
This
somewhat
was a-
professional over there.
Not only are we doing a collab podcast, but we're doing kind of a collab of what?
Oh
The
yeah.
equipment tonight as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a lot of wires going on here.
Dude, the wires look sick. It's like the Matrix.
We're hardwired in tonight, right?
Everything's connected to something.
Are we plugged in over there too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, those are the
Oh yeah, because these are the mics. Yeah.
those are the headphone amp, and then their mixer is one of those more professional ones. And I love how it
That's
has
how
the
we roll.
raised. You don't have to
A
clean
little bit
your
more
head.
professional.
I'm always, man. less likely to spill a beer on that one. I have to say,
We definitely have
that was
some
in the
beers
design.
on some mixers. In our
Somehow it's hanging in there. So,
One of the very first podcast episodes that through the 100. Here's a memory for you that Scott and I did. So Scott brews beer, and
shout out Yeast Infection Brew Works.
that's right.
shout out Yeast Infection Brew Works. Here we go. Here we
We're
go.
on
Here
the
we go.
show
Hold
today.
on. Here we go. Yeah.
We have a pancake also with that on there.
Pancake. So the funny thing was, Scott had given me some of his beer, and opened it during the podcast. And all of a sudden, what happened?
A little overcarbonated, I think.
A little overcarbonated.
Science project.
I didn't say anything about it during the podcast.
Because you're a good dude.
I'm a good dude. Thank you.
you're
I'm a good
dude,
friend.
Steve.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Meanwhile, I was mopping up his keyboard.
Mopping up my keyboard. It was a fun time.
By the way, shout out to that table right over Mitch's left shoulder.
Hey,
That is part of the yeast infection brew crew as well.
Okay.
So,
hell yeah.
matter of fact, Finnan over there created the name. Pretty much, you came up with It Burns One IPA. Okay, we'll let you guys fight it out. But anyway,
and Finn and Brother over there will be on a podcast soon when we're doing our crappy beers of the year and our top 10 beers of the year.
Ooh, top 10.
yeah, we only bring Chris on when we're drinking shitty beer.
Can I expand on that real quick?
Yes.
So you had mentioned, because you guys did the top 10 last year as well.
Mhm.
Was it 10 last year as well?
Yes.
I think it was. And I noticed and that was when we knew you guys because we were listening, and we had met you at the Preds Beer Fest at that point. But like that was one of the I didn't understand you guys' beer styles at first. Like I didn't know what you went at. Immediately when I was listening to the top 10, it was like Scott gravitated towards IPAs, pale ales, stouts. Like his top 10 was full of that style of beers. Yours, Steve, red ales. I can't remember if you had an Oktoberfest in there.
Oh, I did. Yes.
I think you did. You might have had two, but I know you had one.
Founders.
It was Founders. That's what it was.
Founders.
Yes.
It was the Founders barrel aged Oktoberfest.
That's what it was. I just remember there being two very distinct beer palates on that episode, because Scott and Steve have two very different styles that they enjoy. And it was really cool to see, and that's what I love about the beer community, is there's so many styles of beers that people can get along and enjoy whatever they want, but at the end of the day, you have your style that you like. Mitch and I are very much the same. I like same, like in differences. He's very much on like the funky sours and then saisons, maybe a little bit more crispy pilsners now, I think.
Crispy and farmhouse
Ales crispy. Me, I still lean more towards the New England hazies and the heavier stouts.
Can I give a tease on something though?
Yeah.
Because in December, and it's going to be released probably in early January, we're going to do a top 10 of our beers of 2025. And there is one that makes it. You were there, and you were there when I drank it. Yes.
Should we give anything away yet?
Mitch was not here.
Mitch was not there that night.
Oh, somewhere in between now.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, but I know where it's at. I think we were close to my house where we.
Yes,
I know exactly.
You know what? You know what? I can tell you that I was looking the other day at my top 10 list so far, and it has changed a little bit from last year.
He's added a lot more seltzers and ciders to his list.
We haven't done that.
And definitely. I'm going to guess. I don't know his list yet. I haven't seen it. I bet there's a West Coast IPA or
there
two.
could be a West Coast
I'm gonna
IPA.
guess.
Steve's been on a West Coast IPA kick lately. What's up with that? You've been checking in a lot of West Coasties.
You know, it was a summer tour that I did. Kind
Oh.
of encouraged by Scott. He's like, last year, I fell on the sword last year to do not a West Coast, but a seltzer and cider tour, because all these brewery owners were talking about it, and I was like, all right. So I haven't really delved into it. I'm not going to delve into seltzers again.
No,
Not doing it again.
What's up with that? Just too much? It's just like too sweet.
Just not my
sugary,
thing.
not
Every
your thing?
3 years.
Because a lot of the seltzers just are sweet nowadays. Like it's not just seltzer water.
You know
They're
what?
sugary.
You
And,
know what? When I taste a seltzer, as soon as I start tasting it, I'm like, I don't want any more of this.
okay.
That's how I am.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ciders are, on the sweet side. They could be okay. Give me a flight, on a flight.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say a little like a 4-ouncer on a flight, or give me one glass and I'm good with that. But
That's about it.
I can't have more.
Yeah.
I can't do more.
But the West Coast tour has been fun.
Heck yeah. It's a
Discovered a
step
little bit
above the one from the year before. Right?
a few steps above.
You can't wait to see what we're going to do with them next year.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
I'm looking forward to hearing.
Yeah, we really don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
I do know which beer you're referring to, though. I'm not going to say anything, because I don't remember what the name of it was. I remember the brewery. And I remember us sitting there that night drinking it, and every single one of us, Scott included, was like, whoa.
Yes, completely.
Like, we knew it was going to be good, right? Because we know the reputation of the brewery and everything that they put out is, especially if it's like limited release, it's always solid.
I'll give you a hint, Mitch. We were there. All four of us were there recently.
All four of us went where?
All four of us were there recently doing a podcast. So I'll give you a hint.
The actual
from
brewery.
where it's from. Yeah, brewery.
Okay, gotcha.
That's a hint right there.
All right, so
but you have to tune in. But I can tell you, I remember that night because after I had it, I'm like, thank God I Ubered home.
Yeah, we were all feeling it right about that point.
Yes, sir.
Because that thing was not a low ABV beer, too, if I remember.
I love that.
Guys, 100 episodes, right?
Sure.
Give me an episode or two, or some kind of an episode that stands out to you, memorable, that for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, I'll take the first get on that. It was definitely 2020.
I think I know what it is.
Yeah, and before the years before 2020, when we kicked off with our podcast, it was us two talking heads talking about what we like and figuring out the flow. Like anyone has to go through how are we working off each other and getting all the kinks out of what ties us up for silences or whatever gaps. And then 2020 happened, and then you're just kind of shut down in your own little circle. So thankfully Zoom and all that was a thing. So we started the interview process with breweries, and then that opened the doors, and that made everything much more enjoyable. But it'd have to be the second episode of our interviews with Byron Stitham from Proper Sake. That always would stand out. It stands out to me more today because I've gotten more into sake, and when I listen to it, I feel embarrassed because I don't know what I'm talking about. But Byron was such a gentleman, and he would just guide us through from beginning to end of anything we were asking. So it was just super cool.
But you know what? It's the same with us too. Like, you don't want to know everything when you have a guest on about the thing. You really want to learn at the same time too. So I wouldn't say it was, you were learning at the same time, which probably got you to where you are now in that play.
I think so. I agree. One, I 100% agree with you. You want that discovery experience as you're going through, talking with especially if it's the head brewer, the owner, like the person that knows so much about the product that you're enjoying. I think what Mitch is referring to is Byron was one of those people that even if like you take a sip and it's something that you're picking up on or something that Byron was very good about giving constructive feedback without making you feel like you were wrong.
Yeah.
So it was, you would say something that you don't know is right or wrong, but like to you, that's kind of like, oh, this tastes kind of like this tastes kind of like that. And Byron, it's like some people would definitely get that. What gives that flavor away is, and then he would educate you. So he kind of like, without telling you were wrong, he kind of made you feel like, you're on the path to understanding what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
And then he fully educated you.
Okay. That's cool.
He's a master at that.
Yeah.
You always feel great after talking to him.
Right. I feel like after talking, because you were kind of on that journey anyway, right? You're starting the journey. Did that know you more into sake?
Absolutely. Yeah. I got real excited finding we call it the oil can sake here in Tennessee. It to reduce shipping costs, it was put into an aluminum canister with a brake seal top, and it's a Namagenshu, and I think I called it a Nigori at the time, and unfortunately it was just kind of like, well, my bad. But Byron straightened me out with the exact process that Rich was alluding to. He would start off with I can see that, here's what it is kind of deal, and you wouldn't even notice it until later. We were like, oh, now I'm using the right verbiage. But anyway, that was definitely the start and push at the same time.
No, that's great because
Yeah.
because you learned a lot from that and, and you're using it to this day.
Yeah. 2020, man, that was a hell of a year.
Well, and it was fun listening to some of those beginning episodes because you guys were learning too, as we all were learning. Everybody around the country was learning about where are we going in this new world. And you guys were both discussing about having beer delivered to you because breweries, Cedar Glade, you couldn't come into a Cedar
You couldn't
Glade.
walk into a brewery right now.
You couldn't
at
come
that
into a
point.
brewery, or maybe you could here, but like in Nashville, where a lot of restrictions were going on and things like that.
Yeah.
So listening to some of your beginning podcasts were very informative and very interesting from that.
Well, I'm glad they were entertaining.
Well,
And it doesn't just sit on the side of the table too, because as you guys are going through your episodes, like, you know, it's funny how it's on topic, but it's not. I'll bring it full circle. But when you guys are doing your interviews and you're talking with the brewers and the owners of the brewery, and I see it whenever you guys drop a new episode and I'm listening to it, because sometimes like I can't watch, I'm just listening to it, like if I'm driving home or something like that. We have very different styles of shows, but that was tough. But it's all based around the same principle of we want to understand what's in that person's head, because we're trying to get that out into the public. Because oftentimes brewers, owners, like they don't get an opportunity to sit down and talk about it. It's all about marketing, and it's all about, you know, what's flashy and what's hip and what's all that stuff. But like to be able to get East Nashville Brewworks to just sit down and say, let's just talk about your beer, talk about this, let's talk about the process. Like that's something that owners and head brewers just go nuts over. You see introverts every day that just brew beer, sit down, and they come alive when they come on you guys' show. And then they just like, and all you have to do is ask a simple question, and it's just off to the races.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that product and their product better than they do.
Correct.
They, you know, it's like they want to talk about it, and it's like, oh, you want to ask me about my thing?
Yeah,
Sure, let's
It's
go.
their livelihood. They're
And they
so
wanna know.
passionate. They're so passionate about what they do, and obviously because they are in business to make money. What I know I have learned, and what you have learned, especially over the 2 years, and I'm sure you guys have been doing longer, is it's funny. It's not funny, but it's fun to see where the journey is of like where the business is going.
Yeah.
And as we do podcast episodes, we all learn as they go too. So it's very fun. I mean, I love it.
Dude.
which
Yeah.
kind of brings me into the question I want to ask you guys, because that was, you kind of alluded to it, but I think you kind of rounded it out. What was the episode that you guys that you learned the most from? I don't want to say enjoy, because every episode is enjoyable in like their own certain extent. Like Mitch and I will go back and forth all day about like what was the most fun episode to do. Well, I mean, yeah, we might be able to pick 2 or 3 or whatever, but like they were all fun in their own unique way. So that's not my question. My question to you guys, what is the episode in which you learned the most when you were talking?
You start, because I've got 2, so I'll pick the one you don't pick.
Ah, gosh.
Oh, you think he's going to pick one of yours?
I do.
Automatically, you know that.
Scott Murdy.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
Scott Murdy,
Great answer.
Nashville Brewing Company,
Yeah.
is a freaking legend.
Heck yeah.
I mean, that guy has done, I think that guy has almost done more to enhance and remember how beer has come from the way it was to the way it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And he still wants it to be the way it is.
Yep.
But he also appreciates how it is today as well. But man, the history that guy has and the knowledge that guy has.
I've only heard great things.
That's one right there.
Super nice.
What
guy,
was
too.
Mitch? What was the Nashville Brewing beer that we had when we were sitting on my back deck that night? And
It had a goat on it.
Yes.
Was it the Fest beer?
It was the Fest,
beer, yeah.
It was either the Fest. It was a Fest beer. No,
Bach?
it was the Bach.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
the Bach. That's what it was.
It
Yes.
took me a second. It was
Yeah, it was, and I remember drinking it and going, "This is what that style is supposed to taste like." But that's the That's the montage. That's like that's what Nashville brewing likes to do.
Yes.
They like to say, okay, rather than take something and be dangerous and like get edgy with the style of beers they're creating, they go, how can we create the best version of that style of beer? And every single time they knock it out of it.
Yeah, and the other one, we had him on almost one of the first episodes. I was almost embarrassed that I didn't know enough about him.
Oh.
I knew about Black Abbey. I knew about their beer. I didn't know enough about Carl Meyer. And when Carl starts talking within the first 5 minutes, my mouth is just dropping.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh my God,
Dude.
this guy is incredible to listen to.
His character.
Yes.
What about you,
100%.
Scott? What do you got?
I'm going to give you two answers, but they're kind of for the same reasons. One we just released yesterday.
Yes.
Riverbend Malt House.
Oh my gosh.
And because it's a malt house, and Brent was fantastic, and the subject matter was malts. Of course, you don't have beer without malts. It's probably even more important than hops and yeast. So I learned a ton from that. That was one of those episodes we didn't know much about malt going in. We were asking questions because we don't know. And learned a lot. So that one, and then Appalachian State Fermentation Sciences program was another one. As far as just learning stuff, a whole nother avenue, and that wasn't just beer. That's whiskey. That's food. That's the whole thing. But it was beer too. Just so incredibly. We just learned so much from it. Again, we knew it was an angle of beer and craft beer, but didn't know anything about it going into it. And of course, the people that came on were perfect for it.
And I'm sure you guys do this as well. I just edited the Riverbend Malt House episode. It was 2-parter, and I'm listening to it, and I'm texting Scott, and I'm going, oh my gosh, this is even better than I imagined. Because the thing was, you can get very technical. I mean, you're doing malts, and what are malts, right? You know, I couldn't explain it in a way,
No way.
where I'm not sounding like the mad scientist. And he rounded it out to where not only did he perfect it, but I was like, I understand what you're talking about. And I'm promoting their website, and you were too, because their website is like, I want to jump on your website right now and buy malts. That's how great their website was. I'm like, they have it explained so well that if I were to open up a brewery today, or if somebody came to me and said, okay, I'm looking to open up a brewery, what should I do? I said, go to Riverbend Malt House and go on their section, everything, because I think they can help you. And we're not getting paid by saying that.
No.
I wish we were. But it's just an awesome, awesome thing, you know?
I think they need to put that podcast on one of their pages then for some information.
Put it on their website.
I'm gonna have to go and listen to that.
Things do it. It's great. And part 2 comes next week, but it's so good. Really proud of that one because they were.
awesome.
But it's you know, we learned a lot. But when you get the perfect person on for the episode, right? It's like we just sat back, we asked a couple of questions, and he just went with it and did it in layman's terms, like Steve was talking about. Yeah. Go back to an episode for you that stands out though.
Okay.
In any way, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot.
There's
I think
99 of them.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. Every single one.
I think, so if I'm talking about like something that stands out, so Mitch was over at my house, and and we're front loading episodes at this point. We're like, well, let's get stuff together. And this was before we were interviewing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of the crucible before it was end of the year.
2019.
Yeah, I think it doesn't.
It was
January.
before the shutdown happened.
This was after like
COVID,
Thanksgiving, before Christmas kind of era. Yeah,
and we were again. It was just like before we had kind of turned focus to talking to breweries and owners and stuff like that. Thank you, Mitch. We were sitting around mics and just drinking beer, and we were talking about the flavors, the profiles, and all that kind of stuff. Just thinking, maybe somebody out there would want to listen to it because we're just putting it out there. Whatever. I think we were like bundled, like linked over like a Surface Pro or a laptop or something like that with the mic. It was terrible.
We had Snowball,
the blue Snowball mics, and we were just front loading episodes. We were just recording, and the one we had done previously, there was a lot, and we had decided to do one more, and we call it the Heaven and Hell?
Heaven and Hell.
The
I
Heaven
know
and
this
Hell
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody somewhere thought it was a good idea to make a black and tan.
Yeah.
But instead of using Yingling and Guinness and Harp,
Yeah.
use 120-minute IPA and Worldwide Stout.
Give us the ABV on that 120 minute.
It was like 14 and some change.
I think it's 19. It's probably high.
pretty high.
It was bad. And mind you, we were already, I won't say drunk, but we were feeling good.
We had right before that. The previous episode was Avery's triple
vanilla. I like vanilla in beer. Don't get me wrong. I'll put vanilla in beer, but whatever this was too much. It was overload. It was higher ABV. The stomach wasn't feeling good after that, but we were buzzed to the point where it was a good idea to do another episode. So we decided to do it. And that was when we were like, hey, let's do this mixture of creating this Dogfish Head Heaven and Hell. And it's a 120-minute IPA, which is, high teens, almost 18, 19%. And then Worldwide Stout, which I think is also up there. And you pour them together. You make a black and tan, you mix it. I don't remember ending that episode.
It was volatile, dude. It was tough. It tasted okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say great, but you could handle it just fine, but you could taste the high ABV. It was like, it wasn't almost gasoline, but it was fuel for the fire we already had. And we were like, oh no.
You guys had talked about that episode in an episode after that, maybe multiple times. And when I heard that, I went back and sought that episode out. I had to make sure.
It was rough, man.
Dude.
It was
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I want to say something to all three of you that I've learned.
Ooh.
And Scott.
Steve learned something.
I have learned a lot. Scott, who is a home brewer, I've learned from him when he's talking to other breweries and other brewers, because he gets into the weeds about it.
Yeah.
And it's made me appreciate beer even more. And some of the things that I taste in beer, the hops and the grains and things like that. You, sir, when I listen to you, I think you describe beer and the profiles of beer almost better than anybody I've ever heard.
I don't know if that's true.
I think you do.
That's fake news.
Oh yeah.
No,
Wow.
Cheers to that.
I think you do. When I listen to you, I'm like, oh man, I wish I could describe a beer the way you describe beer sometimes. What you're drinking. And you,
you can end on that.
I don't know what I do.
But
yeah. and you, sir, I love how I sit there and go, you know what? I need to find some sake now.
Oh yeah.
I need to find some Malort. I walk you with.
no, you don't.
Well, maybe I do, or maybe I don't. But the funny,
you hear that, Jepson?
I need to find some Malort.
but the funny thing is, I walk into a store now and I go, you know what? There is more than just what I like to drink. Maybe there's more than just IPAs and stout. And I'm going, you know what? I need to get on that train a little bit more and expand my horizons. Yeah. So you know what? I try to keep an open mind. So I want to compliment all three of you on this 100th episode.
Thank you.
What I have learned.
Wow.
From each and every one of you.
Well, cheers.
Can't do it.
Like beer brothers.
Cheers.
They're brothers.
Owning a bottle of Malort is like owning a boat. Don't do it. Just know somebody that's got one.
I think we had some. Didn't you get out a bottle when we were doing?
See, you know what, guys?
Was it at La Force that one day?
Yeah, and I remember it because I was like, "What was that?"
Mitch turned us into Chicago in that exact moment. We had Malort and what was the damn beer?
Oh, two of them. We had Lone Star Light. Because we didn't have the red and distro yet, and then Old Style, which is the classic way to go with Malort.
But it's okay, though.
Such a good beer. You just have to be, really cold. It has to be really cold to drink.
You still gotta keep
any of those beers.
That's true. Any of those beers. That's a good point.
Is there a moment you guys are most proud of? Or not even a moment. Is there an episode or anything you're kind of most proud of in your journey with the 100 episodes?
The abstract for me on that is this: I'm most proud of never coming out with any drama from any hiccup or anything. In the moment it can be frustrating, but at the end of the day we support each other. So learning over 100 episodes because we got some that are scrapped, we all do. But it's just like we're able to support each other and not give each other flack for this long journey. Because for us to get to 100, it's been about 6.5 years.
5.5. Yeah, 5.5 years. Yeah.
So I think that is a victory in itself, just being able to have a good time the whole way.
Yeah.
There's no stress to it.
And that's what it's supposed to be about, right? You did it. You started it to have fun. It needs to
Right.
maintain that.
Yeah.
But it gets harder the more you do it and the longer you do it, because you get more and more ingrained into, no pun intended, into
Damn it.
learning into the beer community. But like there is so much, and maybe not from brewer to brewer, and maybe it exists from brewer to brewer, but I see a lot of and Cedar Glade, we've had them on a couple of times, and every time we talk about it, and they talk about the camaraderies between breweries, like there's never been any shade from brewer to brewer, but when you're talking about like the beer community, people drinking beer, patrons, it exists everywhere. You'll be in groups and somebody will start talking and it'll be like, oh, those guys, and then all of a sudden, like, now people are taking sides. Like, that's not what this community is supposed to be about.
Right.
And I'll give you an example of how good the beer community is. There's an experiment going around on TikTok right now, Instagram, whatever, and it's this girl. She's running this social experiment. She's calling churches, and she's got this sound going in the background of a 2-year-old baby just crying, and she's calling churches and she's asking if anybody has a bottle of formula or a can of formula that they can provide. Every single church had turned her down. They said, no, we don't have any. No, that's not what we do. One of them even said, no, unless you're a member here, then you don't get access to any of the stuff that we do. And it kind of made me think to what's going on right now is there have been so many instances where, and I did it last week. I got some pulled pork, and I was like, I want to be able to provide something during this whole like shutdown and all that kind of stuff. The only people that were willing to help in the situation, breweries.
Yeah.
They were the only ones that were willing to do something about it because
They support each other and
they
community.
support each other. And so when you talk to people like Cedar Glade, when you talk to people like Living Waters, and when you talk to people like Monday Night Brewing and just all these guys, all they want to do is help each other. And it happened during COVID too. They were trading bags of grains just so they can keep going.
Man.
So out of all of this time, when you're talking about like, what is the one thing that you've learned during all of this? It's that breweries help each other and they help their community. Those are the guys that are putting in the work.
That made us buy a lot of more beer. A lot of more time. That really lit a fire under us for sure. And talking to more and more and more, and that fact has never changed. That's wild. Yeah. Good one, Rich.
What about you guys? I mean, I have other questions, but like I want to know that about you too.
Go ahead. So you're kind of what your most.
What was the most kind of like that aha? What was the most proud moment that you had in the 99 previous episodes that you've been doing? Something must stick out more than anything else.
I think I've said this. For me, I just love to find out people's stories because everybody has them. And I look at like Crazy Gnome.
Oh, yeah.
And they started, Grayson was one of our first guests. And when he started talking about, my God, their building was hit by a tornado.
Yeah.
And then
their story is nuts.
And thank God they weren't in the building during the tornado.
Yes.
And for people, that are not familiar, there was a tornado that hit East Nashville a few years ago and tore up the city. So, and it was during COVID. And then the next day, COVID hits. So that's a business like any other business.
Yeah.
It could have been taken down immediately.
Yeah.
And they bounced back.
Yeah.
And we've had, I loved the beer aspect of what we do. I love drinking beer. I love doing a podcast with him and talking about the beer.
You don't like drinking beer.
No, not at all.
No.
But I also love finding out about the stories of a lot of these guys. And I know I've said it a few times, I think LeBron has such a great story.
He's so cool.
Dude.
I mean, the dude is in Manchester, Tennessee, and he's from there.
Yeah.
It's a small city, and he has started a brewery, and how fantastic it is. And we were all there recently.
Yeah.
At the last beer festival on
Yep.
Earth, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We don't know.
And what a great champion. And then, even though we have not had him on, had these guys on our current podcast, you all have. Chad and Mike.
Stokehouse.
Dude.
Stokehouse. They were
Stokehouse.
tenfold. And there's a lot of history.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of history before that. And the fact that these guys have been grinding for years and now they own a brewery. If you listen to our podcast or you listen to your podcast, you're going to hear that kind of stuff. You're not just going to hear about, yes, we love beer and here's our beer styles. You're also going to hear about those stories.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
Totally.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think one of the things I'm most proud of is we've been told thank you before talking to breweries and stuff, and we never got into it for that, and never even knew that was an angle from anyone. Like, hey, thank you for talking about craft beer, and thank you for continuing. And you guys do the same thing, promoting it. You're visiting places and you're drinking their beer, but we keep promoting it. And that thing, and the first time I ever heard that, I go, really?
Why are you thanking me?
You're just a couple of dopey beer drinkers, you know. And
We did the Music City Brew Hop, Adam,
oh, awesome, yes,
and that was so much fun.
yeah. So that when I heard that a few times, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't. We were just doing it for fun, and we are, and that's all we're gonna do. But it was like, oh, we're actually doing something out there. We didn't really even realize that we were doing. You guys do the same exact thing. So,
well, it's one, it's free marketing, but number two, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. You're getting their voices out into, it's not what goes on the Instagram post or what goes on their stories or something like that. It's like what's inside their head, and people oftentimes just don't ask them.
Yeah.
So they get the opportunity to give their 2 cents.
and all four of us do this too. We don't just, turn the mics on and talk about beer, then go back to our lives and shit. We we're getting hooked up today, but we all have bottles that we brought. We're in these places. That's how we get to know them, because we're in these places without the microphone.
Yeah.
We just know them because we're consumers, and we're there to support them.
And I think that, and we could go on for hours about that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, we can walk down memory lane, and I think the plan tonight is to do that.
Yeah.
We there's so much that but all four of us could contribute to the show. And the stories are never boring. Like, it's always something interesting. It's always something fun. Maybe what we do real quick, take a quick rinse break. It's going on 8:00.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe what we do is we take a quick rinse break. We've got a couple of special guests that maybe we want to get on here before it gets too late for the end of the night.
Yeah, I've got one thing. If we can, it'll take 5 minutes.
I want to keep going.
You want to go? Let's go. Just for a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, I get
Let's go
back to it.
for it.
I think it's fun. So it's 100th episode for all of us, right? So I get a little fun with the number 100. 100, 101. No,
I'm about 6, 7.
120. So do we get syndicated after 100 episodes? Does anybody figure that out?
We need Steve's the radio.
Yeah, we need some syndication.
Can you guys go talk to the radio people?
We need to task you with that.
The radio people.
The radio people. Yeah, I'll call my people and see what they say.
I just assume Steve knows like free beer and hot wings. And
Can I tell you something?
Producer Joe. He just knows.
No, but can I tell you something? About a week ago, I was at a bonfire Halloween night with some friends. One of my friends, one of my best friends ever, he used to work on radio. 2 other people that were there. They actually do a public access show.
Oh, nice.
And they were talking about podcasts, and they were like, we wish we could have a podcast where we could find out, where we could figure out how to monetize it. Because even they used to be TV news reporters in town.
Okay.
And back in the day, and it was like, even they understand, podcasts, it's a different medium now.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
It's not what it used to be.
No.
And everybody's doing them now.
Yeah.
We've all raised the bar.
It was us. It was only us.
We are single-handedly.
Yeah.
I think we've all talked about this though. When I know when Scott and I started talking about doing a podcast, and it was like, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to focus on? And I listened to some out there in other cities, not here. I was listening to some, and I'm like, we're not going there. You guys know what I'm talking about. We're not going there.
Yeah.
We want to focus on the positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too much of the opposite out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is.
Yeah.
There's. I don't like any kind of profiting or any kind of other junk off of dramas and
Doing it for the
negativity
clicks and all
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah. We all know what's personal preference, and we got to kind of move on from that and rise up.
When we hit stop after, you've recorded an episode with someone, you hit stop, you feel good afterwards, right? You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about what I said or any, what do we're not making
Yeah.
waves.
Well, it's positive,
Yeah, it's
right? I mean,
positive.
like we're not getting, and it hasn't released yet, but the guy the moderator from Untapped, it's just like, it's a good time. And
Yeah.
the guy that had so many beers, I won't talk about the number here tonight, but the guy that's had so many beers probably is the only one out of all of us that could probably shit talk if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Right. He never did.
Right. Not
Never
once.
did.
Not once.
It may
And
not
all
be
those
his
beers, he's like just excited to get more.
Yeah. That's his journey.
The next morning, I counted 97 check-ins from him.
Oh my God.
We ended at 9 o'clock. Like it wasn't like this dude was going all day and then it went to not like he must have checked it in from a previous festival.
We had
But
2 hours to make up sitting with us.
What is going on?
that's a good point. All of his homies were drinking, right? Yeah.
You know,
97 check-ins.
Yeah.
I know it's getting later, but we'd be doing a disservice to our own podcast if we didn't talk about the beers we just had.
Yes.
Oh, good point. That's a good point. So, what did we drink first? So well, hold on. The Maniac Pale Ale.
Oh,
We already
yes.
called that out, right? We had
Maniac
Maniac
Pale
Pale Ale
Ale.
from Cedar Glade
We're
Brews.
sipping on that now. It's fantastic.
Good.
It went down
Yeah.
so well that I finished.
Yeah, mine's already done. I'm 2 beers past that at this point.
I'm actually, because you gave me this, but I had the Long Hunter IPA,
Yeah,
which I've had.
which is really solid beer. There, the one we had before we went on was the OK Boomer
Yeah.
brown ale, which borders on a porter to me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it's so good. Higher ABV, really kind of a thicker, like type brown ale.
Yep.
Super solid.
See,
very
there you
roasty.
go. You're describing the beer.
It's just what I drink. It's just,
I'm telling you, you do a great job at that.
Well, thank you, Steve.
You're impressed, Steve.
It's super roasty and it's yummy.
I love it. I love it, Steve.
That's what I like.
We always love the word
It's
yummy.
yummy beer, my tum tum.
You know,
Scott, could you describe the Cedar Fest that we had here?
It was malty, and and it was a really nice color. I really love the copper color to it, and it was good. It was fantastic.
It's
It was
their
better than good.
version of the Oktoberfest.
Ooh, yeah, that's actually pretty. I'm actually was pleasantly surprised they still had it on draft. 'cause
It was malty.
Well, they didn't release Oktoberfest in June, Scott.
that was good. Thank God.
Yeah, they waited until the proper time to release their
This was true.
Oktoberfest.
and I thought I enjoyed it
I never
too.
had it,
It
yeah.
was the first thing I got when I got here.
It was excellent.
It brightened my day.
Yes, it did.
There you go. You brightened his day. Love it.
But now I've moved on to an IPA, and it's palate wrecked any memory I've got.
Yeah. What else do we have on the table that we're drinking then? Because you guys currently popped one.
There's
Yeah,
this
which one
one.
was that?
Yeah, Mitch brought that.
Yeah, this is the Japas, and that's in your smaller glass here.
It's really fun.
Oh, West Coast Pilsner?
Yes, West
Yeah.
Coast Pilsner.
We're just something right
This
there.
is by Japas. It's called Ma, West Coast style Pilsner, 4.8% ABV. And Ma is a Japanese concept that values space and time, the void. The delicacy of a Pilsner represents this breath that prepares for the aromatic characteristics of a complex dry hopping. In this recipe, Cascade hops with their citrus and floral notes represent the tradition of classic IPAs, while HBC 1019 brings a new aromatic perspective, adding an unusual blend of citrus fruits, mango, peach, and melon. It's a invitation
Hey,
to
can I
savor
just
the
can I
moment.
just interrupt and say I'll drink to that?
That was yes.
So that was almost burial level.
Are you impressed with his description of the beer? You didn't get much more descriptive than what.
It's real good. I'll drink to that. It is good.
It was
You know
good.
what?
It's got a certain sweetness to it. It's really nice.
That was
Yeah.
a West Coast Pale. That was West Coast Pilsner.
Pilsner,
Yeah,
yeah.
super solid.
It's awesome.
Big fan.
Freaking awesome.
It
Yeah.
tastes
Hey,
better
guys,
tonight than it did yesterday.
I know we're gonna probably get into them tonight, but I brought a couple bottles
Mm-hmm.
because it has some meaning.
It does. You
to
talking about these
some
two right here?
Yes.
Yep.
To some happy hours that we've had, probably some podcast episodes,
And
right?
some really rough mornings.
What is it?
The two KBSs sitting in front of me right now.
From Founders?
From Founders Kentucky Private. So these are not just the regular KBSs, though, Steve. These are the variants that you brought. One of them is double oaked, presumably Scott's favorite
It is
out of the
totally.
variants for KBS. And then the other one, I know I have not had it. And I don't think you've had it either. You were talking about it before the mics turned on. The hazelnut.
Yes, I have not had that one.
And we're going to get to enjoy that one tonight too.
Oh, no way.
And the one that I really loved the most on the KBS, and I'll never forget this. It was the spicy chocolate, and I think that was like a 12% or something.
Really?
And I'm checking it in one day, and I'm at my house, and it's like a Sunday. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm checking it on Tapped. Scott's texting me, Steve, where are you that you're drinking a 12%?
It's like, you could be okay here in an hour.
That's tough, dude. I mean,
I'm at my house.
yeah. Let the man drink a 12%er, Scott.
I was rooting for him. Like, come on, buddy.
I am at my house. I am in my living room. I'm drinking a 12% beer. I'm cleaning my house, whatever I was.
That's the right way to
He
do
doesn't
it.
even remember.
If you've got to do terrible chores like that,
It was
you
great.
might as well. And we've got a couple of Mitch brought. I mean, we've been basically drinking Mitch's beer, and then I cracked open that Great Lakes. I've only had a couple from Great Lakes before, but this is their Christmas ale.
Christmas ale.
Spicy. I mean, like spice notes in it.
Yes. God, it's amazing.
About the Great Lakes.
Really good. Bring Great Lakes to Tennessee.
We need to bring them to Tennessee.
We're trying to get them to Tennessee. Now,
There's some Instagram page out there called "Bring Great Lakes Beer to Tennessee."
yeah, totally pay attention to those guys. We'll get those guys on the podcast sometime.
We should.
That's right.
Yeah,
We should.
we'll
And
talk to those
it's gonna be
idiots.
pretty tough to get all four of you on there at the same time, but you'll figure it out.
They're hard to get.
I know.
It's a really great lake. The distance.
I'll have to touch them and see what's up.
Yeah,
So we've
make it
and
happen.
we've got those, and then we've got a couple specialty beers. Like we're going to bring here in just a second. We're going to bring Jonathan and Robert from Cedar Glade Brews onto the show, and we're going to talk to them because we're always interested in what they've going on in their history. But we've got a special beer that we have from them from last year. It was a barrel aged. I don't know. I don't think it was it a sour? Maybe it was a barrel aged sour, Mitch.
You'll have to keep listening to find out.
I guess so. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know why I'm giving away all the secrets at this point.
Mitch, can I say something?
Yeah.
This goes back to my radio news days.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned for further updates.
There we go. In that case, I'm not going to say anymore because we've got tons of other good beers that we're going to share with
You
them.
want to take that break now?
Yeah, we'll take
Because they're
that
waiting
break.
patiently.
Let's get them in, and then let's crack open some beers and share.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Be right back.
You're right.
Cheers.